we definitely love to meet everybody there.
Yeah.
Sao Paulo, well, Rio was a bit difficult because...
Yeah. I mean, we're always busy, but no one ever minds coming up and saying hi. Absolutely. I just mean busy in the sense of, like, yeah, we're usually at desks. So.
Yes, we're usually further away from the action, but yeah, hopefully for Invitational, we'll get to see as many of you guys as possible. There you go. IQ and Ying, which are the two operators that were banned before.
Yeah.
We didn't
so
see the rest.
Where we go from here?
Makes sense that we see the Valkyrie ban. Mira.
Nope. Okay, well, I seriously doubt they're going to ban it themselves.
RDevilS. If I don't know why you ban the Mira. Anyways, it's consulate, but if you don't ban a Valkyrie, I swear to God, they didn't. The absolute madman.
Well, they were the ones who banned the IQ. So it should have been INTZ that did instead of Mira. So the fact that they banned someone that's not that important and left, I don't know.
Why would you ban the Mira on consulate?
It's, you know, everyone's got their own thing.
Yeah, I'm not here to shame people.
It might have been the case of in scrims or in BR6 or something else. They saw something they didn't like. That's more often the case rather than just, you know, Mira is really good on consulate. We need to get rid of it.
I like how you default to like a movie.
There wasn't even really like an accent, but it was just
Russian
kind of like, yeah, turned into one.
Kilo.
Nikki Capitao there. So, you know, faking like they were going to go with the double hard breacher, instead sneaking in the Capitao was a good idea. But it is against Grush, and bro, just going to go from bandit to bandit, so that's very sneaky as well.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Okay, both Mute and the Bandit are in play, which is really uneventful.
Honestly, though, it's not a bad idea, just because, for one thing, first off, you can, there's a lot of spots you want to mute. I like that being a little electrical box. It seems appropriate.
You can definitely mute jam the entirety of the Yellowstone.
Yeah, there's a lot of the top floor, or the middle floor that you could get from below. And if you really wanted to, you can get an extra, you know, ability to deny a drone coming directly in the drone hole to peek Bandit, see when he's trying to juggle, and force them to have to try and destroy that mute jammer before they can drive in. That one he's watching right now.
Which is interesting because INTZ do not bring a Thatcher, which means they're gonna focus a lot more on taking piano.
Yeah, you got to at this point, otherwise. Or if you want to be really ballsy, you can go from yellow stairs, just like peek in real quick.
Oh man,
that works sometimes.
Because I believe there's a mute jammer right behind the yellow stairs, which means you're not gonna be able to see much.
No, you're gonna have to take that out somehow first, or just go for it, you know. But because see, Velvet's actually gonna stay all the way upstairs and be on that dock roam and just try and be a pain and force them to have to clear the top floor. So, see how it goes once they start droning in and such. But the, I mean, I wonder if Mute's even bringing a shotgun if he's having to open that up with the little shotgun pistol there.
Actually, this is definitely something we're not sure of because, again, this is Latin America, so we're not the ones that are in control of the camera. Marsu's not, you know, getting directions from us in here because he doesn't observe this because this is done locally in Brazil. But Duds will walk into the cafeteria and not find anyone.
He almost found Velvet for a second there, though. Some good pre-fire from Velvet. I gotta say, because he rotated so far from that, but Duds doesn't know how far he rotated. So he was able to actually do a decent amount of slowing down the push in admin without over-contesting it to the point where he died, and he can still rotate back. Oh, there we go. There's where he over-contested. To be fair, though, he did have an ACOG as well. He could have fought that back, but...
Not sure. He didn't have any information to play off of there.
No.
Velvet just easily shut down. It's a quick cleanup here for INTZ. And every time I see the word, you know, the name Velvet player there, it just reminds me of the song Black Velvet.
I thought you were going to say Velvet Shell.
Velvet Shell as well, but mostly... Oh, is that it's a dug-in C4.
Well, that's... I guess...
Is that like a 200 IQ kind of thing?
Yeah. Interesting play there. We'll see if that ends up actually working. We'll see if he catches anyone. I like that Claymore. Going to be kind of a pain to get to. But they do have control of piano now, so those batteries...
Oh!
There's that prep.
That was...
No, that wasn't even the prepped one, was it? That was another thrown one, I think.
Can we get a replay down here?
Right?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, because the prepped one's still there. All right, nicely done.
I mean, hey, if you think about it this way, if there's another C4 that's thrown up... Oh, no, Duds gets shot down.
See, that was nice. They had yellow stairs control after.
Here's the thing. Because there was a C4 that was already set, if you chuck up another C4, you can't hear the other, you know, beep on top of it, right? It just depends on how close you are to it. So it'll fake you out for just a millisecond that is required for you to, you know, drop it and get the kill. But Speaking of kills, VODs will find one on Duds. The Maestro has relocated by the white van. So, not sure how much work the Habana has done. This will be a dive directly on the van itself. VNX will get one to spray all the way in the back. 49 bullets left in the belt here as VODs will find one. The Asher Yuk will penetrate the defenses, but it's a 1v3. And Mitty, inside of the break room downstairs, will find the kill. Yuk is taken down. Very quickly dispatched, and RDevilS, I have to say, that was a beautiful bit of teamwork.
They definitely opened up some avenues and then somewhat collapsed on them. You know, they would kind of clear a little bit of a pathway, let the attackers come to them, and then collapse on them a bit. That original C4 kill, though, that definitely made a big difference, though. They were doing a good job opening up the floor and setting up to really put a lot of pressure downstairs. So because they were able to actually get a kill out of that, stop the buck, that stopped a lot of the pressure downwards, gave them a bit more mobility downstairs, like for example, being able to play potentially behind the white van or rotate to the side of it like you saw the Maestro doing. So it just gave them a bit more flexibility, but then also some other good kills. It was unfortunate the Doc kind of sacrificed himself a little bit early, but sneaky Capitao yet again, this time faking out for the Glaz Elite, and he will get it in on that Capitao. We'll see if the Capitao works a little bit more effectively this time, but on a different bomb site. This might have been even the bomb site they were intentionally bringing it for, thinking this would be the first bomb site. You never know. It's always a little bit of guesswork and semi-mind reading in terms of whether or not they expected a site or not. Some teams just always bring the same lineup regardless, or mostly the same lineup, minus adjustments later in the rounds. So we'll see.
I'm interested in seeing how INTZ proceed in the assault here, because it will make sense for an admin take. There's reinforced walls here in the bathroom, and the instant those are detected, it pretty much just, I mean, you can box yourself in and maybe send the Ash on that angle to play in the yellow stairs, especially since there's no Legion. But admin take makes the most sense, and even more sense, you know, to have the Capitao that is going to play along the balcony on the outside here by the... Oh, what is that? Our projector is completely open, and they're going to have the Maestro in there. What?
That didn't work out the way he was hoping for. It almost seemed like they were looking at it too out of curiosity.
That is so odd.
Strange defense.
I've never seen that. I was going to talk about like how Boar is going to play with the Habana so he can destroy the side of the wall and start pushing in, and how they're going to deal with the Doc on the other side by the bathroom. Well, throw that all out of the window now. Yeah. Because that is not happening.
They're getting creative here. Certainly going to throw off the attackers, though, if they don't drone it and don't expect it. I mean, it might mess with how they're actually planning on their attack push to happen in terms of where they want to get 12 smokes going out a little bit prematurely. I mean, yes, that will stop them from swinging in. I suppose gives you a chance to reposition, although they're actually playing for what would normally be a mirror play. Maybe that was what the ban was for, was to stop that from being, you know, as part of their defense, maybe knowing that they were going to be playing that particular style of mirror play.
Look at how Yuk is trying to deal with VODs inside of the copier. No angle given to him, unfortunately, for Yuk.
Yeah, he's still going to drone it, though.
Yeah, they're just stalling out at this point. They kind of figure out what's going on.
Unfortunately, he doesn't really have a good escape route unless they start getting a few kills of their own to kill some of those attackers off the windows. But hey, if you can burn up this time, you don't always have to get away.
Oh, he'll find it. Duts will go down. VNX is taking quite a bit of damage from below. And the buck, but VODs will find the second one. Yuk on the Ash, dispatched. And on the outside, can he go for it? He'll just going to spray, but no. Just finding the crossbow of the Capitao as the Valkyrie will be forced back for just a second.
Still going to scare him off the window, though, so job done.
Nitro Cell still available here as he'll try to use the back wall to his advantage. Mitty, unfortunately, will fall in the engagement, just peeking in from the main doorway. Abro is down below, though. He can move in from the server.
I like it. If he can get away with it, that could definitely be a big play here. He's waiting for that moment, too.
Yeah, there is not a lot of time here for the attacking side of INTZ. They'll have to attack from bottom up, and bottoms up is usually a good thing, but not in this case. So
it's a good way to end up upside down.
Truer words have not been said, my friend. Well, Abraham will now rotate up. 15 seconds on the clock as he'll force the dive on the B site. RDevilS setting up for the retake. Velvet will find one. He'll fell the second. And all up to Buck here. This is right on the rappel. Save the up. There you go.
Unfortunately, the diffuser way too far to not only retrieve, but also to try and plant afterwards. So, deciding, you know what, I don't even want to get a fight at that point. So, RDevilS putting up a heck of a starting fight here.
Yeah, I'll remind you that all of this is a simulation.
Yeah.
It is, like, in the lore. This is like
no, yeah,
Team Rainbow
I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, yeah. Just like to you know, add on top of it for anybody that, like, whoa, of course, simulation.
Whoa.
Without, like, understanding.
These aren't real people. This is based on a true story. All the names and events have been changed to protect their identities.
My best friend, Habana.
Not best friend anymore. It's dead. Sneaky Capcan coming out this time.
Ooh.
So the Capitao being faked so he can 6-pick yet again. See, that's at least using it in some different ways that is not just going to be repeating the same ideas. But we have seen that done quite a few times where when you suddenly go to the thing that you've been 6-picking to, sometimes that will be an indicator that you're going to 6-pick away from it. But either way, it seemed to work out okay. Yeah,
the Capcan now will... I'm very intrigued because you look at Secret vs. G2, where Fabian played the Capcan, and...
that worked out.
It worked out very well. But how will it work out for Midi here? Because it's a bit more difficult. There's the... If you want to contrast Villa to Consulate, Villa has more rooms and they're all closer to one another because of the doorways, whereas here, you don't really have the same level of flexibility on the Capcan. Yeah, sure. There's still a lot of rooms, but they're kind of spaced out in a way where there's a lot of hallways, and those...
Ooh,
okay.
Good start.
Nice
pick all you want. Nice shot by Velvet, though. That's the Doc getting away with it this time.
Yeah. It's a good start for RDevilS.
Well, there's that drone just flying up. Unfortunately, does catch Velvet, but hey, it's gone now. And that means no eyes in the room, which is all the more important. He throws another one, again, sacrificing it to Velvet.
Yeah, of course, no evil eyes and no good eyes.
Only RDevilS.
Only. RDevilS, incidentally, is also the name of the Belgian football team. The actual...
I thought you were going to say a band. It sounds like a band name too, but yeah.
Probably somewhere in Finland. Or in Brazil. Brazil actually has a high per capita metal band percentage. Or not percentage, but like number. No, it's very...
More you know.
I am very fun at parties.
Yeah.
I can guarantee.
I'm glad you labeled them as fun facts, just to, you know, not confuse them with...
boring.
Yeah. Either way, though, speaking of boring, they've bored their way on into admin. Despite sacrificing nearly every drone they had, at least you can see they still have a few, they did manage to get in, get control.
Oh, no, you had the spot! The drone was right in front of you, and a bro will find it even with the C4 coming in.
Probably called it out too late.
Fortunate there for INTZ. They'll lose the buck on the entry. VNX taking a bit of damage here on the Valkyrie, but...
feels good.
Valkyrie, I mean, the Jaeger is still in position. Like, oh, there we go.
Now it's gone.
That was not a dud.
No.
I can do the dad jokes, too. Jaeger is going to be felled, but at what cost? A minute 10 on the clock, and VNX is downstairs. Now, does he have a C4? I didn't spot that, actually, for the second. But Mitty has already expended his nitro cell, so the Valkyrie should have a nitro. Goo mines are being set up everywhere, so this is the big advantage for RDevilS. Not only do they have time on their side, but also they can slow down their opponents should the need arise.
Manpower advantage, of course, don't forget. As that matters even more for the defenders than for the attackers if the defenders are smart and can just play angles near sight, or even be just ready for a good retake. I mean, the important thing about a retake is cutting off exits more than anything else, because if they get outside, generally they have a much bigger advantage, but if you can cut off their ability to rotate out and defend it, well, then they just end up walking into death traps.
And well, they're going to go for the plant here. Boar is just... there you go. It took a while. But
oh, no.
Midi will find one. And no, the Legion will win it. Vitz will find the second one. Last alive is the Cabana here, down to half health. Not much that Boar can do. Oh, I'll find one, but Mitty instantly taking him out. That's all she wrote for the round, as RDevilS will put a third one up on the board, and that's pretty darn good.
I love how they trapped him behind the desk, too. So I was just talking about cutting off the exits, and the big door was exactly what I was thinking of. So the fact that they cut him off from escaping through the big door post-plant, that was definitely the important part there, that caused them to be able to win that fight. Because, yeah, they lost the Legion, who was already kind of wounded anyways from his fight, but It was people pretty much all around him at that point. He was not going to escape with his life. It was just a matter of if he was able to burn enough time so that they couldn't defuse afterwards, but definitely was not the case. So that's all 3 bomb sites now won. They can just go on back and repeat the rotation as needed. So far looking quite good for RDevilS, but you know, you see how it was with previous matches here today, that once it switches sides, could completely reverse and repeat.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
We'll see if that ends up being the case. But RDevilS on garage again here. Velvet going to be on that dock again. Drunk's going to be sticking onto that Dokkaebi. So this is again the part of what makes me think the Habitat was for upstairs, not for the garage. Is that he's sticking on, or going back to the Dokkaebi now that he knows they're going back to garage as a rotation.
Now the smokes is definitely something you'd like to have.
Yeah, this operator actually has smokes.
Very good point. I wonder. I like to have on play. There's no Mutant Bandit both being played by RDevilS as they did in the very first round, which is confusing because INTZ don't really bring. They bring the Thatcher, but they don't bring the Thatcher. But the problem was before, not only did they not do that, but they also weren't really able to take control of the top floor. And beyond that, be able to take control of Piano to destroy the utility that is.
Well, I mean, they were able to at least get Bandit off long enough to get the Habana charges to blow up a part of the wall, because he wasn't able to trick it in time.
That's both drones are dead.
Yeah, they just keep throwing drones through the same window. I don't know. You could. There's a lot of windows there. Yeah. there's other windows.
Pull.
Yeah. At this point, like. Are you just trying to give him something to do? Are you trying to keep him busy? Like, I don't know if that's worth it. Like, I don't even think you can get onto the drone to see what's killing your drone in time.
Bring me another. Oh, again! Oh my God!
The drone economy. This is why RDevilS are winning. It's just the drone economy is just.
Is this the Wall Street crash of 2019?
They're just throwing drones literally in toilets almost at this point. Like, they're just gonna go into the bathroom and be like, all right, we know what to do with these.
I wish there was some place where we could see how many were left. And
yeah,
that'll be the dream. Oh, Mitty now. Ooh. He finds the head of Yuk, so even if he still had any... Oh no! Mitty shot from behind! 2 kills to the way of INTZ, and it seems like they don't really require those drones, at least for now. Vitz is watching the backstairs. So far, he's not found anyone by the service area. 3-4, and INTZ still have the Havana in play, and you hear the Buck already doing work. Yep. Bandit, the Mute alive, which means you have 2 C4s, at least I hope.
Yeah, but one of them's out of the room, so...
Oh, nope. Also, oh, it's already set. It's already set. So, this is probably not going to be using his right anytime soon here, but he's pretty far from doing anything about the Buck bucking Piano, which is going to make a problem for Bandit, because no one there to slow down the Buck like last time means, well, he's probably for Vitz. Ooh. That was beautiful. Duds will get felt again. Now you lose the Zofia before you enter the site. 45 seconds on the clock, and Intact is still unsure of where his opponents are. Final set of drones here is Bor will go in. The Mute Jammer is going to get taken down on the side as Buck will continue to destroy as much of the floorboard as possible. Vitz will rotate back up and try to fight against that position. Abrao will take down Intact as now the push has to... you just hear the X-Kairos going off at 20 seconds. Yeah, and Vitz is in such a prime position to hit the moment they go to try and plant. Oh, this is prime rip right there. You're going to go in for the call. The C4 pulled out, and there you go. That should be it. 1 kill on the Dokkaebi, and Abrao will find another one. Board will get taken out, and RDevilS, they'll salvage the round being a man down. No information left. No information even to be gathered. By the attacking side, because they just chucked drones in there. It was a whole lot of skeet shooting. And that's the thing is, you start sacrificing a lot of drones. Okay, yeah, other players have drones. You have 10 total. Maybe not as big a deal. But if the players that still had drones left start dying, those drones are also no longer available. It's a tough spot to be in, and they definitely really suffer from that, because guess who was able to just kind of walk around the map once the drones were dead? Hoomst. Vitz. Yeah, Hoomst. Hoomst. Sounds like such a silly sounding word. But he was able to just creep around. I mean, he didn't even have to kill Buck himself, but he was definitely in a position to, had he needed to, as he snuck around slowly. Finally, after getting
Some good stuff going on earlier, and, well, they're definitely playing off of all the information they have against the lack of information that we're seeing coming out from INTZ. This is definitely not top form INTZ we're seeing here. They're really seeming to struggle against the playstyle of RDevilS in terms of their seeming flexibility against the attack and their ability to get some early picks. That being said, they are also losing a player or two fairly early, especially VODs has fallen a couple times. We've seen one or two other players occasionally follow early, or, you know, fall early, but either way, it doesn't seem to set them back.
Oh!
5 seconds to insertion.
He hit him! What?
That moment of tension.
You heard the body shot, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's, you know, it's just deflected by the clothes.
All right.
So there's a bulletproof camera somewhere as well.
Yeah, they've been running the dock pretty consistently here.
I don't know if we've really seen where it's at, but
I think I saw it once, but that was basically what I'm really surprised by is this Maestro setup with a fully destroyed wall. I'm intrigued. I want to see it work, and I want to see it in action.
Yeah, we haven't really seen it. We did see the Maestro die at one point, so we didn't get to really see what he was going to do with it. But yeah, they haven't really gotten to the point where they're executing on that particular area, so we're not really seeing it.
Does allow you to retake. So there's that. But also having the one rotation hole on the other side of the long desk also allows you to do that. I don't know. It's just, I think the whole point is flexibility, but we just really want to see it in action to see how it really...
Maybe it's just they want Velvet to be playing that long desk pretty aggressively with the ACOG, which is somewhat normal, but he's kind of playing it in the middle as opposed to playing it on one side.
Indeed. Black Velvet, if you please. Another musical reference.
I mean, that's kind of the same one you already made in a way, because you said it makes you think of that.
Yeah, but now I actually make the reference.
Magic in action. There you go. Well, Yuke is at least taking control of Yellow Stairs. Not all of their drones have been thrown at Velvet. So this is a good position for INTZ to be in. If he can actually manage to sneak in without getting caught, as sometimes Ash can be quite quiet if you just sprint for a very brief period of time.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
But they are doing a good job at least covering their flanks with those drones and setting up on this window. But will they cover properly for any kind of run out is always the big thing. But at least he has top of Yellow Stairs.
Yeah, he'll cover himself here by the reinforced wall, so doesn't really have to worry about any utility or any fire thrown towards him. Flashbang in, and the second one as well. Third one is all expended just to clear out any ADSs and flash any players in the back. But will get shot down by Intact, and of course that's to clear up in the bathroom, and that's the rotation that the Doc wanted to make, and he'll actually make it happen. Finally getting the finisher, but he'll get down. He's gonna have to pick himself up ASAP, and there you go, back at 70 health. Diffuser is set on the floor, 4 versus 3. Are there any grenades to be used here? There's no smokes as well. C4 has already been expended. Mitty might actually go for the dive outside. He'll try to stick the diffuser. They have to worry about him, and Intact will find one. It's in connector room. Boar with the second one for 3v2. Mitty on the Maestro is still alive, but not with much health. Not for long. VNX will get at least one kill off of it, and Boar, the finisher, the cross angle established perfectly from INTZ. They'll put the round number 5, or at least their first one here on the board. That was well executed, I have to say.
Yeah. This is starting to feel fairly similar to the match we just had, in the way it's kind of swinging mostly to one side on defense, and then it'll occasionally later on start to break a little bit to the other side. And so, I mean, it's pretty close to a similar idea, but either way, Intact, very impactful that round. It was a very good one for him.
Might as well call him Impact.
Okay. Lobby we go, despite not winning the top floor. Obviously, they're not going to be playing Chunka, and he's not going to be playing Blackbeard either, which is part of the... I mean, you usually see Blackbeard banned fairly often on this particular map, partially because he's such a beast on that one window, on the B window, as well as sometimes to help people get into admin.
And defuse bombs.
But either way, that last round, I definitely got to credit, like, even though Yuke died in his fight, the fact that he kept them busy while the plant was going down, I think was important. It definitely made a big difference. Also, Intact doing a good job on the patio windows definitely made a difference as well. So kind of just those two, the way they were acting in terms of pressuring all the rest of the area so the diffuser could actually be planted, definitely critical to that actually pulling off. Mitty going to try the cap can yet again. See if it, again, a fairly useful thing to be running here.
Now, what some players will do also in the Capcan is that they'll leave one EDD at least in their back pocket for later on.
Well, you get like a zillion of them, why not?
Attackers
Well,
recovered
that's
the
5, they're countable.
5 is a lot, though, for gadgets in this game.
Very true. Legion has quite a few.
Yeah, but rarely 5 at once.
You say that, but we were casting NA when one of the players still had like 5 or 6 Gumais in the back pocket.
Well, that was embarrassing, and I try and forget about it. I would hope that he would just die, and then his corpse would be like a porcupine.
And it was actually against a blitz, which was causing them a lot of problems.
Yeah, sometimes things like that you don't want to think about.
Yeah, well, this is the lobby take, so you still need to take control of the top floor, the console chambers, and a projector before you go for lobby. So those Capcan traps are actually a big investment for later on in the round, where your opponents are mostly going to be funneling in through the lobby and the spiral staircase.
Yeah, because they're going to be focused mostly on entry points right now, trying to soften those up. And INTZ's going to do exactly that, taking down Velvet yet again, he's had a lot of hit-and-miss rounds, unfortunately a lot of missed ones with that dock play, but he did do a lot of damage to INTZ, and INTZ does have time left to reset, so he's going to just jump right on down, get that reset. Nah, it feels fine. But he'll get back up, and that'll be a good thing. Now, with the smokes they have capable, assuming Drunks doesn't die early, they may just go for a front door smoke plant, or even smoke and then rotate through the smoke to the other side of the desk where they planted last time.
They still have to worry about the players above, and of course the destruction has already been prepared by RDevilS, is just present to deal with a front door push. So
yeah,
that's why it makes sense for the Capcan to set up his traps on the opposite end by the Visa entrance. So it's like as if you had a Legion.
Oh, unfortunately that window being open, working against him.
Good shot here from Boar, but Midi will connect. Impact will go down to the EDD. And remember, if, VNX with another one, Yuck will go down. Remember, if you run into an EDD and you are a 3-speed, you take 60 damage and then 10 less as you go down or go up in armor. Vitz is still in control of the top floor, still has 3 remote gas canisters. The Toxic Babes, as the Dokkaebi's low on health. Not sure if he still has any calls to be made, but Vitz is definitely ready. Fires in the Zofia. Fire from him as well. Duds is lower on health. Gas canister thrown all the way down. No diffuser set just yet, as VNX is hungry for information. The call will come in from the Dokkaebi. C4 thrown out just to deal with any plants. In the meantime, the Zofia is just going to get cleared up, and VNX will run through the smoke for just a second. He spots one right by the window, and will he break it and run out? Yes, he will, but he's instantly shot down by Boar. Vitz on half health, has the shotgun in hand, can finish it all right here with the remote gas nade as well. Is he going to use this correctly? There's a plant right by B. I'll take a lot of damage here on the Dokkaebi, but the diffuser will be set. The Twitch will make it happen. And Drunks, oh, how does he survive it here? Just ran right through the smoke.
Just barely with his life. That really would have helped.
Oh, now they set up behind the half walls, and this is going to be nigh impossible for Vitz to retake.
Oh, or is it? If they don't have a drone.
His only chance to go for the... Oh my.
No, if they don't have a drone, you could potentially stick it.
Don't peek him! Don't peek him, he'll go for it! Drunks will go down, and now Boar will have to run all the way to the back and play. He can play this angle fairly efficiently, but he can't find the smoke as he goes in to take down the diffuser. Not much time left, but anyways, this would have been for INTZ, as Boar will find it. INTZ to put the second round on the board, and that'll leave the half at 4-2. Advantage still for the RDevilS.
Still a pretty good start for RDevilS. The question is, though, will their attack be better than INTZ's, who really kind of struggled till the very end when they finally kind of adapted to the way that it was being played and were able to more consistently take out Velvet again, stop throwing drones right at him. So RDevilS going to, I imagine they might 6th pick something here, but looks like they might show the Dokkaebi as well. They are going to be starting on console rather than garage. Now, there is just the one hard breacher being brought here. Boar sneaking off the bandit. He might have been teasing the bandit to make them think it was going to be garage, and he is going to go pulse. So he may still be in the garage, or downstairs at least, but with a different operator.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
All right. I'm very interested in seeing how pulse will be run, but even more so that, unfortunately, we're not going to see that same Maestro setup with the completely destroyed wall that
it could.
RDevilS were running.
Yeah, probably not. 0 for Yukin Drunks, though, out of 6 rounds. Not great. Not great, and that might be somewhat of a contributor to why they only got 2.
666.
And again. It's more appropriate for RDevilS,
Yes,
though.
very true. Can we flash that again?
Yeah. Marcio will call Brazil.
Just Brazil, not even like...
I was going to be more specific, but I was like, nah.
Attackers are
Brazil.
moving out to locate a bomb and
Alright,
defuse it.
set up the second Evil Eye in here, and that's a pretty good spot in the console office. It is fairly far forward, so you can't really use it very effectively against players that are on the window itself. It's more for when they dive into the site itself.
It also makes it difficult for them to do anything about it from the window, which is, I think, more the important part in terms of, will this live? Because they might just go in for a smoke plant without knowing it's there, and then all of a sudden you can see through their smoke, and that gives a chance. Also, you have a pulse, so between those two things, the smoke might just turn into their tomb.
Let's see. MT downstairs on the sludge. It's just walking around, you know, looking around.
Located by
Make sure
attackers.
there's nobody in the lobby. Trying to contest. VNX in the meantime is destroying the windows by the western wall. We'll just walk out as Velvet is burning any ADSs in the yellow stairs, and there you go. One of them has been taken down with the stun grenades.
Now it's going to be Sledge's job to actually do the killing, I would think.
Attack still launching in by the window. Needs to be sure there's nobody repelling to try and fight him in this situation. Now the wall behind him is completely reinforced, which means if RDevilS had had a Capital in this position, it would have been great, but also because you can create...
Oh, no, that's a good way to make sure this is an easier round.
I don't know if that's a 2K. I don't know if we can count it as a double kill.
I got to imagine that was a case of just Ash doing Ash things right in front of him.
Well, VNX not using the Gizmots just yet to stun his opponents. Logic Bomb has already been used once, but they'll hack into the cameras, which will give them access to pretty much everything that's
Now they'll know where that Evil Eye is.
Very, very true. All for nothing.
They'll be able to see through the smoke now, too.
Attackers
So that could be
located a
helpful.
bomb.
Very true. Intact, though, has a shotgun on the stairs, and this is definitely a place for you to fear if you're attacking into this. Second remote gas canister has been used with 55 seconds on the clock. Still one in the back pocket. Intact will get called, and that's the second Gizmot thrown into him with no follow-up, as the Dokkaebi will take down the barbed wire. Oh no, they're going to try to push together into this guy, and there you go. That's in combination. Easy.
You don't push into a shotgun, and Zophia's thing is going to do very little to a shotgun because it doesn't blind you, necessarily.
I can see why RDevilS didn't go for a push from the admin, but this is why Thermite is just not worth it most of the time, depending on the site. But more often than not, just to be flexible with the site choice of your opponents, just run the Habana. And you know, this round is as good as done. 4v1, 15 seconds on the clock. And Mid will have to walk in. He'll find one on Duds, but quickly dispatched by Drunks.
There you go. Drunks is off the 0 now.
He's off the chain.
Not so great for RDevilS that round, though. The team kill probably not helping contribute to that as well. So hopefully that wasn't a tilting team kill. But either way, not too bad. Still, they have a point lead here. But it's slowly dwindling. Now, there will be the garage being played. So this is where the Thermite, as you mentioned, is a bit more useful. But like you said, Habana going to be a much better play most of the time because you can still open the garage as needed, but you can also open angles into the projector for if you were going to go for a plant inside projector on that top floor as well, instead of focusing so much attention on those deadly yellow stairs.
Defenders, protect your bombs from
INTZ
being defused
going to get
by
to use
attackers.
this pulse, as it could be interesting to be able to play against Piano, but it is a dangerous game to do so, or just being played in archives. Kind of play it back a little bit, stop some other map control inside Visa perhaps. We'll see how he plays. It looks like he's going to go for just the archives play for the moment. Attacker's pretty much going with the same lineup here.
One thing I do want to highlight is that Latin America so far has not played the server/Visa site.
Well, that's good. Not at all. That's good to note.
10 seconds remaining.
As it's
Attackers
been
have
pretty
located a bomb.
rare. I feel like we've only seen it once.
It's been
maybe
played
twice.
It's been played a couple times for NA, not this season though, if I remember.
Yeah, I
correctly.
mean for this season, I feel like we've seen it once.
EU has played it.
Maybe twice.
Played it a considerable amount more than anyone else.
Yeah, they're definitely feeling the variety more, which is nice to see. As NA is the team that more often will try new maps, but maybe EU being more adventurous on bomb sites.
Changing mags.
Well, a bit of site rotations and angles being set up to provide some access. Could be also going for the stand-up shot that you can get by climbing up and firing through the angle there, or just having a evil eye through it.
I would have just stayed there with a default cam up because that would have turned very sour very fast.
Yeah.
When you're standing on the soft hatch next to you in the closet, nah. What's up, Doc?
Yeah. Not so great. Well, at least they're getting in and take some map control, but ooh, almost contested there. Midi just barely not finding the top of lower spiral.
Gotta be careful in these situations. Drunks will fire in, and I'm not sure what hit there. Bor downstairs in the servers will also spot the player on the outside. He does have one reinforced hatch next to him, so doesn't really have to deal with pushes from there. That is in the hallway.
Nope, he reinforced it himself like a good boy.
Smart. Smart.
Even if he doesn't go for an EC4, he's still playing a valuable role in being pretty much secure for the most part and just gathering info.
And of course, Mute in the meantime, just denying information. Again, the C4 that is put up there. I wish we could talk about it. Velvet will get the shot on Intact. The Goo Mine will go in the foot of the Ash, but that's pretty much all the damage that'll be thrown the way of this Ash. Abrao in the meantime is taking a bullet to the torso as well, so the Thermite takes just a bit, but will dive in, and VNX actually wins the fight.
I didn't expect anyone to contest Archives like that, but he certainly just dropped it right in.
Why did they leave the hallway hatch open and from behind? Duds will get one hill spray to the second, and there you go. Midi's on the floor. There's still one outside, but Duds will continue to maneuver around the yellow stairs, all to his advantage.
I mean, he's in a good position, but they kind of know he's there at this point and takes a lot of damage for it. Velvet in a really good position to potentially win this fight health-wise and speed-wise, but they don't know where he's at now.
And with the time running down, Red Devils have to decide, do we go for the site or do we just go for Hunt? And Yuck will get taken down. 3v2 now, advantage for Red Devils as Duds will go down, and they still have to watch for it. Trunks instantly snapping onto VNX as they'll find the kill. There's still one right next to it that's right through the wall. Drux will find it. That's the Fuser on the floor. Velvet now moving in the barbed wire, spots him. The Maestro knows exactly where he's at. The C4 was right above. The spray right all through the wall, but he can't find the Maestro of Drunks, who's right behind on the opposite end of the hallway. Velvet will find one. 3 seconds left on the clock as he'd find the diffuser, but is he gonna plant it? No, he cannot.
You are out of time.
Out of time. And INTZ again. Man.
Creeping towards that potential tie.
Time management.
Yep. I mean, at least that time, Ash not getting team killed was able to be a lot more effective, but nonetheless, the rest of his team dying, a little less effective. That two-piece, though, for Jaeger definitely made things a lot more difficult.
Yeah, no biscuit there at the end, but the two-piece was definitely present.
Yeah, absolutely. We could be seeing another Finka being played here by Vitz. If he sticks on it, could just be a tease as well, which it is going to be to a 6 pick of Mystery. Oh, and there's Boris sneaking one in as well. Getting that Polskin, and then the Twitch. Neither of those a real surprise.
No. A lot of people ask, hey, why doesn't everybody use the 6 pick? Well, I mean,
you gotta have a reason to for it to really be worthwhile most of the time.
Yeah, you don't always have to use it. I mean,
no.
Sometimes you can use it to like really throw off your opponents, but hey.
I mean, it's the same reason you don't always have to pick the weird third bomb site. You know, like you don't always have to be like, I have to go to that to surprise them. It's like, well, then that gets kind of predictable.
Yeah, true.
Yuck, though, still not finding any kills. Unfortunate.
4-4. This is turning way too close.
Again, I feel like, you know, with the strength of defense, the current meta of sorts, along with the way the operator bans are going, it's definitely been the case where, well, you're going to see a lot of defensive wins.
Is this going to turn into a third tie?
I think it's entirely plausible.
Entirely possible.
Thanks for catching that. That's important. I completely missed that opportunity.
Yeah, I tied it together.
Thank you. Well.
How are we even friends? Midi finds the kill. Boar has been taken down, so no 6 pick for you. You know, it's just not not there. So you're dead.
Oh, just
he
the
finds
head. Well, either way, they're going for that bottom-up approach you were talking about earlier. At least clearing it out before moving outside.
Which is odd. I mean, usually you go top-down, right?
Well, they want to clear out the
Attackers
pulse.
have located a
Is the
bomb.
thing is they wanted to take him out, and they did exactly that. Mission accomplished. Time to move on to clear out the top floor.
Mission accomplished, people.
That's right.
We're going home. We're gonna bring those bows home.
That's right. Throw up the banner. Let's
A
go.
bomb has been located.
All right. Well, short of George W'ing the whole situation, we'll see how INTZ continue with this as Intact evades the damage.
Now he's just got to play his position. He really doesn't want to lose this because he knows he's vital to holding between the two sites, as well as that hole right there. If he gives that position up, then they can go and plant piano if they need to, which is potentially easier to deal with in some ways than trying to push into that main door.
He's going to set up to destroy the Maestro camera in the back.
Nice. Nicely done.
Well done. Look at the reinforcements that are set. The second Maestro as well, I spotted.
Ooh, is he going to get 2 for 2?
Kobe!
Check it. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Mitty. Sorry. Well, at least 1 for 1.
Gotta work on that backhand.
At least he can sledge it, right? So he can walk up to it. It's not on right now. He can hit it. He's not the worst operator, but VNX finding 1 and then traded back onto Vitz.
Drunks, well done here. Still to find the refrag, but look at the amount of damage that's been done to the Maestro. Drunks! Not a good spot to be in.
He's still doing much better on defense than attack.
Shotgun in
this
hand,
timing.
Intact. He can go for it, but the sledge is ready. Mitty will find the headshot. He goes in through the goo mine, but Drunks is so low on health as well upstairs that it might not be the end of the world. Dutz is on the lobby side, though, so the Jaeger can just rotate up by the yellow stairs.
Attackers are
Do
activating
the player
the
close
diffuser.
up? No, the diffuser's already set. No, they didn't even have to deal with it. It's set by the piano. Drunks will have to go back for the retake, and Abra will find it. He's just sitting right by the piano, and VNX for the last one as he went all the way up to hunt for Drunks and the hunt for the red January, I guess. There you go. I wanted to make a transition. If only it was October.
Important thing is at least you knew which month it was. So,
It's
you know.
October?
No, January, I mean.
Okay. There you go.
Confused me from it. I'm like, no.
I don't know, man. Super year. Is
Yeah, you
just
start losing track of which
Which
month
year it
you're
is.
in, which year, yeah. Where are we?
century.
Which world?
Ave Cesar. Well, no, it's not the Roman Empire.
Well, we'll see if Duds will be part of that Roman Empire. That was bad. We're getting stretched thin here.
Can we reset?
Attackers
Yeah.
will
Can
locate
we
and
start
defuse
this
the
round
bomb.
over? Hold on. I should just let that one pass.
It is getting late or
Well,
early.
I like that Evil Eye right there that he put just between the two rooms, so he can watch all the way down long desk towards the soda machine, as well as the yellow stairs door into the console office, and potentially even a little bit of connector, as well as the door coming out of bathroom. It's a lot of visibility. Of course, requires a lot of rotating to be able to see that, but it's a nice spot. Can be potentially difficult to deal with, as it will require an angle they will likely not have for some time, although he's going to potentially give it to them to the extent that he opens that wall up to the patio.
Now, that attacking round, the first one was that Red Devils were able to win on this.
Yeah,
fight.
that was the, I mean, but to be fair, INTZ were only able to win 2 on their attack.
Indeed.
So we'll see again, like I said, is creeping towards a tie. And this is the same situation we were in last matchup, right? We had what? Well, that was a nice start. So he's not going to be Roman.
Oh, I see what you. Oh, now I got it.
You really? Oh, wow. Okay. I'm gonna have a hand signal for these from the future.
What's the hand signal for Roman?
It's the hand signal for there's something hidden you didn't hear.
All right. Well, Boar trying to find
Oh, that was close too.
through the window. There's nobody through there. As you'll see, the attacking side is at least watching through because they know he would be out there.
No.
And no, he has no information. There was no point in throwing out the nitro cell.
He's still got a camera in pocket too.
I would not have done that.
Well, either way, 2 ADSs right there trying to get burned out. Somehow did not catch the flashes. They're throwing them just away.
There's still an ADS available in the back.
I mean, the nice thing about not catching the flashes, it means there's 4 charges and then now 2 left they're just going to run out of things to throw in. They're shooting the Zophia's lifelines at this point to try and burn it out. But it looks like it's finally done. Both charges, as you can see, if you're not aware, as I was explaining how they work earlier, you see the red lights are gone. That means they are out of charges.
Indeed. Midi is going to come in and drone. They know what the smoke is. And a reminder of how this push through the stairs went before, and the grenade perfectly timed by Midi.
He almost got shot in the process, though. Good timing.
Just dodging and ducking and weaving to go away from the fire of the SMG-11 and the smoke. Well, there you go. That'll net him the second kill of the round before the attack.
There it is.
Run out, and he'll find it. There you go. Bit of damage done to board, but it's more than enough. Midi has been shot down, even though he already got the kill that was required. So, all in all, an equilibrium.
Except for the one manpower advantage.
Indeed.
So if they can play it off. Now there's a lot of off-site play happening from the INTZ guys, so if they can go in for plant, which they've been able to do somewhat here, there's a good chance they might be able to make this work.
Alright, Boar is downstairs here in the lobby, will fall, or will go back up to support Yuk, but Volvid is already fallen one. 2v4 as the smokes are blocking line of sight for Yuk. There, there should have been a Maestro upstairs to give him information, but RDevilS just clean up INTZ.
Here's a comeback.
They're setting themselves on map and match point. That is very much a comeback.
So, potential tie here, although it is still entirely plausible that RDevilS just close this out and we don't end up in that tie situation because they have 2 rounds to do it.
Statistically speaking.
Yeah, and they are the underdog, so this is important to get that early lead because they're likely to struggle with a fair amount of matches. So any early wins versus ties they can get, trying to keep them off of that auto-relegation spot at the bottom, very, very important.
Yeah, even though we're in week 3, we saw how things snowballed at the end of this season, and if this does turn into a 7-5 again, this will be the 3rd time that INTZ lose to a team 7-5 after having lost to Pain and to NIP, the same exact scoreline.
So they can always get it just to the edge, but never quite close it out.
Yeah, they did play Oregon and Bank, the 2 maps that were played there.
Yeah, it's been a fair amount of Bank play, not so much this week just because, well, you can't play it if you played it last time, or if your opponent played it last time. So I imagine we'll see it again rotate in next week, or next play day tomorrow, rather. I keep saying next week, I forget that it's usually tomorrow. Tomorrow. Right? Because we're usually doing the day 1s of the week. So.
Left before insertion.
This is on RDevilS though that they have to not choke. And part of the reason we're seeing ties is the teams aren't able to get that momentum once they get on a match point. They seem to struggle with closing that out because, well, it is a lot of pressure to try and, get that 7. The other team will often also be invigorated by the fact that they have that comeback to try and rally.
Yep.
And often will do so.
They would be backed up against the wall, and in that case, you gotta fight for survival. And it's that fight or flight situation that you push yourself into.
Despite the number of ties we've seen so far this week, though, I do think they are still going to be overall relatively rarer in the season than the last season.
Oh, yeah.
But it's definitely a case where you never know. It's up to the teams. In Latin America, probably one of the most contended regions outside of EU in terms of most of the region being relatively equal in skill. I would say more so for Latin America in terms of when it came down to the end, it was very difficult to judge who would even end up in the relegation spots.
I feel like that was a story, though, for the entirety of Pro League.
But especially so, I mean, you had Supremacy in EU, for example, that was like, okay, they're probably that.
They won a game, they won against Fatality. That was an awful game. Yeah. With all due respect.
With all due respect.
Well, Midi here on the sledge, still in the same position, though I wonder if the wall in the bathroom is reinforced again.
Yeah, might give himself an escape this time.
No. It's going to find the first. Yuk will go down, and I don't think Yuk has found a single kill this whole match. And does find the kill on a brow. The grenade's been lobbed back in, and no damage done to Intact. Does going to get shot down. Unfortunately, spending a bit too much time on the outside. It was already spotted and got shot down. Now, will Intact jump out and go for the risky play? Is at least peeking out pretty wide here.
They're at match point in a dangerous situation, and now 2v4. They need to just make the smartest plays they can, and it seems like they're getting aggressive instead.
There's C4 available and the Maestro as well with the amount of overwhelming potential fire. Bold, unfortunately, cannot see through the smoke.
Oh, the timing.
Oh, man. The Zofia perfectly timed here. He'll go for the headshot. Boar will find it. It's going down. And that's the one that they needed. The Sledge will go down as well. Drunks to turn into a 2v2. And now the shield has been set up. VNX, though, will come in from the back of Drunks to fall. Boar watching just in case the Ash would like to drop in. But do they have info? Where's the diffuser? It's in the hands of the Ash. We shall have to rotate all the way around to the A site. The default cam here in the hallway has still not been taken down as it flashes red. Velvet will finally get close to the boundary now. The Zofia spotted Boar. Still has a Nitro Cell in hand. Diffuser will get put down. Will it stop it? No, there's...
They shot it out.
Oh, no!
Oh, no.
Boar has found one, but VNX for the... Oh, my God. Well, heartbreaking there. But 7-4 victory for Red Devils. They come back into this one. And they clean it all up. Well done by what you mentioned are the underdogs.
Yeah,
in
a
this
fantastic
match.
showing by them. I mean, it was definitely a rough battle to get here, and they certainly have made it count. VNX and Midi definitely showing up, but look at everyone pretty much near double digits. You know, 2 people at 9 as well. So
14
Uke,
Phoenix.
unfortunately, still holding that 0 at the end. And like we always say,